Hey Valley Creek guitar players, here are some shapes in the key of E that I want you all to become familiar with. I'm going to assume that you understand the concept of the Nashville number system from previous videos and some of that basic music theory. So we're just going to go through the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 chords in the key of E. Okay? Excuse me. So our 1 chord, key of E. Our traditional E chord as you learn. All right? Chord number 2, F sharp minor, and this is how I do this voicing. So I have my second finger on the 2nd fret of the E string, I skip the A string, then I have my ring finger on the 2nd fret of the D and pinky on the 2nd fret of the G, and then the other 2 strings are open. Okay? It's a nice open kind of sound. A lot of switchfoot songs have this kind of like dare you to move, that texture to their chord sounds, the top 2 strings open. Alright, then we're going to take this shape and we're going to slide it up 2 frets to our 3 chord, the G sharp minor. Okay, there's a G sharp minor. If you ever see a chord that says E over G sharp, that's a very similar voicing, so it just goes like this now. My ring finger hits the G sharp, I skip the A string, my index finger hits the 2nd fret of the D string, and my pinky hits the 4th fret of the G string, and then the top 2 strings open. So there's an E over G sharp. Our 4 chord is next. That is the A chord. I play the A chord like this, and the top 2 strings open. Then to our 5 chord, a B. This would be kind of a B sus voicing. So that's index finger on the 2nd fret of the A string, ring finger on the 4th fret of the D, pinky on the 4th fret of the D, or G, and then the top 2 strings open. Onto the 6th chord, C sharp minor. So I can take the same hand position, slide it up 2 frets. There's C sharp minor. Another cool way to do it is to put the ring finger on the 4th fret of the A string, 1st finger on the 2nd fret of the D string, and 4th finger on the 4th fret of the G string. Top 2 strings open. That's the 6th chord, 7 chord, B over D sharp we call it. So that's ring finger goes on the 6th fret of the A string, then my 1st finger holds down the 4th fret of the D, G, and B strings. That's one way to play it. And the other way to play that same voice with open strings, 1st finger on the 6th fret of the A string, ring finger on the 9th fret of the D string, and then middle finger on the 8th fret of the G, and the top 2 open strings. And then this 7 chord can resolve to our 1 chord, E, and here's the other way to play the E chord. So you have an E chord down here, and an E chord up here. And you hit all the strings and get a real rich sound. So a lot of worship songs are based off of these shapes. Open the Eyes of My Heart by Paul Baloche is a classic example. That's open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see. I want to see. Okay? So those are using all those shapes. If you notice that F sharp minor, I hit the A chord and then I use my thumb to hit the root. Same exact notes as the 2 chord I showed you earlier, just using my thumb as well. That's another way to do that. Okay? And then you can take all that same logic, and if you have a song in the key of F or key of G, just put the capo on the right spot. So in F, I put the capo on the 1st fret and slide everything up a fret. And so now I have big open chords in the key of F.